Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. I'm back today to do my BookTube rewind for March, where I go back and discuss all of the different BookTube videos that I have been watching and really enjoying. So for starters, to talk about some of the BookTube trends that I've noticed. As I mentioned in February, we are right in the thick of book prize season. The Women's Prize for Fiction Longlist was announced early in March, and so I was watching so many different reaction videos from a lot of different creators, books that people were really excited to read, ones that were maybe not so high priority. And particularly I saw a lot of great conversations spearheaded by the Plod Along girls, lots of great live show discussions hosted by Gem of Books and Charlie Brook Reads. I've so enjoyed seeing everybody's different opinions and adding a few of the Women's Prize Longlist books to my own reading. March is also well known on BookTube as being the month of readathons. Frankly, if when it comes to your reading output, March isn't one of the highest months in your given year, you're probably doing it wrong, because there is middle grade March, March of the Mammoths, Bronteathon, the Irish Readathon, March Mystery Madness, and of course my own readathon, Herstorathon, and all of these different readathons just really go to show how wonderful and connected our little BookTube community really is. And I think really go to show that when people talk about people on social media all reading the same books, that's really far from true. You're just not looking in the right places, because there is a lot of great reading to be had outside of the so-called like 10 books that everybody apparently reads. In terms of new and popular tags, I think by far the most popular one was probably the Snobometer Tag, which was created by That Reading Guy. I was seeing lots of great discussions on book snobbery, what it means to be a book snob, whether you yourself are a book snob, lots of discussion on various genres that people either love to read or avoid. Actually, thinking about readathons, there were two Bronte readathons happening in March. One of them was hosted by Emily over at Novel Novels, but another one was hosted by Melinda at Web of Stories, and she created her own Bronte book tag for her readathon, which was March on the Moors. And I especially feel like I should mention this one because even if you didn't get around to doing it in March, definitely keep it on the back burner for Victober, because this would be the perfect tag for that month. I also saw the Get to Know My Taste book tag, which was created by Thoughts on Tomes and My Name is Marine's channels. It's always good every now and then to just kind of take a pause and slightly reintroduce yourself, reintroduce your reading taste to your viewers and potentially anybody new who might be checking out your channel and wants to know what to expect. In terms of individual BookTube videos, I've really enjoyed, once again sticking to the theme of book prizes, I have really been enjoying Dan Union Books as he slowly but surely reads and reviews all of the different books on the Walter Scott Prize for Historical Fiction. I found myself really eagerly anticipating his next review because all but a couple of the books that were on that long list were completely new to me, and I feel like I really rely on BookTube's reviews to give me a good sense, a good grounding before I go to those books myself, and this has been such an invaluable resource. For a slightly more fun video, I really enjoyed Claudia over at Spinster's Library's video on trashy Sherlock Holmes book covers. I just generally really enjoy her commentary on lots of different strange and surreal book covers over the past few decades. They're always so delightful and so funny, and this was no exception. A really fantastic uplifting book discussion video came from Jack over at SpreadBookJoy, who basically did a video that echoes the name of her channel. The video is called Trying to Read More Made Me Miserable. Here's How I Read More Joyfully. There are a lot of book discussion videos that happen particularly at the beginning of the year with people either vowing to read more or alternatively people talking about why they don't want to read more, why pushing themselves to read more actually burnt them out, made their reading less enjoyable, put them in reading slumps. And I thought that this video was just really thoughtful, and how if you're going to read more anything, it should be with more joy, with more enjoyment of your reading. If you're going to search for more, that should be the more that you're looking for. One of my most anticipated BookTube videos of any given year is Scott over at Gunpowder Fiction and Plots video, where he goes through around about 20 different booktubers' best book of the year videos, selects one book per booktuber, and then reads and ranks all of them. It's a video I look forward to every single year, and no surprise that this year's installment was one of my top videos of the month. I just really like getting new booktuber recommendations, as well as the book recommendations of course, and getting to learn about some books that I'd never heard about before. Now looking forward to April, I want to talk about some readathons that are coming up. Firstly, I have to mention Charlie Brook Reads, who is hosting the Books for Bowel Cancer readathon, which is tied into Bowel Cancer Awareness Month. Each reading prompt is based around a different symptom of bowel cancer. There is also People April, which is hosted by Roz at Skelly Dandling About the Books, Brian at Bookish, and Elizabeth at Bookins Books, in which we read non-fiction about real people. Katie over at Books and Things is hosting the TBR Clear Out Readathon, which kind of does what it says on the tin. The aim is to read more of your books from your long-term TBR. I've also been turned on to the Old School April Readathon, which is hosted by Secrets Read, and Kelsey over at Slime and Slashes, which is all about reading nostalgically. Angle Can't Read is hosting Indie April, in which the aim is to read independently published authors. As somebody who works for an independent publisher, I can very heartily recommend this. Jack over at SpreadBookJoy and Shelly Swearingen are hosting the Picture This readathon, in which the aim is to read more children's picture books. And then finally there is Amish in April, which is hosted by Lizzie Vay Loves Books as well as Sarah at the Bookish Knitter, in which the goal is to read Amish romances. So kind of like with March, there are a lot of different readathons that you can get stuck into. Hopefully that gives you lots of inspiration on how to form your TBR this month. So there we go, that is all of the BookTube watching that I have been doing in March, and particularly the videos and creators that stood out to me this month. Please let me know about anything that is coming up in April that you're excited about, any videos that you particularly enjoyed in March, as well as any creators you think that I should check out. I would love to hear from you. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.